Welcome to the podcast. This is Big Reptile Talk, and we got Big Billy in the building. How you
What's
doing
going
today,
on?
sir?
I'm good, man. Just working away like always. Another long day, but keep grinding. That's what you got to do.
Man, I'm excited to have you on. Definitely wanted to just get you on here, have some fun, and get a little knowledge in the process.
Okay.
So we're gonna jump right into it, man, and just have fun. I wanted to just start off and ask you, about incubators. What's the best incubator out there, and what's your take on homemade incubators versus store-bought incubators? What's the best way to go?
Um, I would always go with something that's manufactured. The people. I use Cornell's World, Greg West out in Alberta. I know there's sea serpents, and I think they're called hotbox incubators. I know a lot of people are using those. Um, I think that, I mean, for me, especially when growing, when you have one, I always have to have everything the same. So if I need one and I need another one, I can always call up the manufacturer and order another one. I have 6 of the same one. Imagine having like a Coke fridge. They're big and heavy, and then it's like, okay, I need another one. Well, try to find the exact same one, or, to me, my OCD kicks in. But I know some people in the past, I don't know about, too much now, but, the DIY guys would make them. And I know some people would put in too big of a computer fan, and it would move the air too much and dry out the eggs. And, I've heard some issues where they couldn't get the temps proper, or, to me, especially when we're dealing with animals and hatching stuff, you want to have everything sort of dialed in perfect, because you spend all that time caring for the animals, feeding, enjoying them, and breeding them, and you get those eggs. And I mean, all that hard work, putting it into, an incubator that hasn't been tested, or and something goes wrong, man, it's very disappointing. So I know that the people that build those incubators have tested them, and I've been using mine for 5-6 years now, maybe even 7, and I won't change. But I know that they are expensive to people, so people do the DIY way to do it. Thing is it's like a piece of equipment that I think is important would be an incubator over a rack system. To me, if I had to put my money into something, nice looking racks or a quality incubator, I would lean to, of course I'd want both, but I mean, I would lean towards the incubator, because, it's got success, and, you want your eggs to hatch, you want to make sure it works.
Right. I love that answer. Now, I definitely wanted to talk to you because there's a lot of new breeders coming up in the game. Do you
Mhm.
feel like new breeders need to be prepared to breed their own rats to be successful in this business?
Um, I never did. 20 years I've never done it. So I would say they don't have to. Would I recommend it? Hell yeah. But talking to other people, I can't give any advice. Oh, it's so much work. I don't know, but from what I hear, people are telling me it's a lot of work, more work. But guess what? You know what you're feeding the rodents. You know what your animals are eating. You have your own supply. You don't have to wait on somebody else, pay their prices, get in line. You get in an argument or a beef, some sort of political stuff, or you do something to a friend of the rat guy, then he doesn't want to fucking supply you now. Wow, that's a bad position to be in. Like, it's really good to be self-sufficient, but if you're gonna do it, don't wait till you're my size. Grow it while you're growing your hobby or your snakes. Because I mean, for me to start now, it'd be mind blowing.
Right.
It'd be overwhelming.
Right. I love that. I love that. Now I gotta keep it spicy. Throw a hot seat
Yeah,
question in there.
sure.
A lot of these bigger breeders, I look at y'all as the designer ball python breeders in the game. For instance, Justin Kabelka, I would consider him to be like Louis Vuitton. Ozzy Boyd's, I would consider him to be Gucci. Where is Mutation Creation? What store, what designer store would you say best represents you, your brand?
Oh hell, um, geez, I don't know, man. I'm a Gucci guy. I like my Gucci, but I don't know. I mean, to me, I like to make stuff where I've never really followed the pack. I've always sort of had my own vision. Um, I take a lot of people's creations and the way they've gone into things, and I've sort of, taken little pieces of it and added it in a different sort of light. I don't know. I'm creative, but I get inspired by many people too. So it's not like all these ideas and everything I've done is just because I'm a genius or, oh, I got this artistic talent. No, I just love what I do. And I love pushing things to different extremes and trying new things. And they haven't always been a success, but, I've enjoyed doing it. But I don't know. I wouldn't put myself as, it's definitely not a Walmart. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? Not no dollar store, but I don't know, man.
I would say Prada.
Okay, I'm good with Prada. So it's up there. But yeah, I'm not sitting there trying to be, I just do what I love to do. I love to inspire people. I do everything. I make the stuff that I want to make. I'm into a lot of space. Clown pies, dreamsicles, labs, ghost, monsoon, like freeways, super enchi, super OD. Like I'm all over the place, but I'm strong and I'm structured in all those areas because I have a vast, big collection. So I'm glad to be put up there. Like I'm glad to be seen as, one of those high end, and I love it because all my hard work and dedication has got me here. So, it's amazing to see how that hard work and effort and even the mistakes and all the troubles I had to go through to get here, it's all worth it. And I'm glad that people can look up and say, oh shit, man, like, wow, you're awesome. I'm like, thanks.
Right now, currently today, what's your favorite morph right now?
Well, I would say my favorite morph would be asphalt. It's always probably going to be, close to home where, it produces super asphalts. It produces freeways. It's something that I've been passionate about since 2009 when I bought my first one. It'll never not be in my collection. I think we're just scratching the surface with it. Now we're putting it into clown and pied and clown pieds and labs. And, we're just scratching the surface of that gene and every other gene out there. But I really like, diversity now where, I love my enhancer and desert ghost into pied combos. I love ultramelon stuff now into clown, VPI exanthic into pied. So instead of having one gene, I'm taking a certain gene and working strong with it in a certain area instead of trying to have it everywhere. Back in the day, that was the mindset. We only had limited, and I'm trying to break out of that mindset where, when you had a pastel, you had to put it into everything because you only had 10 different options. Then banana came. You wanted to put banana into everything. Now, you don't have to put a gene into everything. But if you put the gene into the right combo and keep expanding on it, there's so much possibilities. I don't want desert ghost in every single one of my animals. I don't want exanthic in every single one of my combos. I want to have it diverse and really push it and build it to the next level. And that's why I'm sort of going away from the DG and enhancer clown stuff. I'm still in the space, but I'm not pushing it heavy where I'm going to keep adding and stacking. I'm pushing that in more into the pied combos. I'm pushing more of, the DG enhancer pieds, the ultramelon stuff into clown and work and really take those to, next limits, next levels and just push it.
Right. Well, I love what you're doing. Now, I gotta ask. You've been in the game for so long. Do you remember your first sale, and just how did it feel, man? Just chasing your dream, making that first sale.
I don't remember who it was or what it was. It was probably a normal, I was moving stuff around. And don't forget, we're talking, 20 plus years where, I would be buying and selling normals because, het pieds and pieds were thousands of dollars. And I bought those to grow up. Um, you know, we used to sell pied. Normals, normal females were $1 a gram.
Wow.
So you would take an animal, even buying and selling. So when you go and buy an animal, I want to buy what do you have? Oh, I got a couple, breeder females. How much do they weigh? You'd put them on the scale, 2,600. They say $2,600. And then you would buy it or say, well, you do 25. Sure. You take it home. And then, it goes to the bathroom and you weigh it. It's 2,300. You just wasted $200 on poop. You know what I mean? But it was like, wow, man, like people would feed them and then weigh them and get an extra $100 out of you. But, we pay $1 a gram. So if you had a 3,000 gram female, you're paying $3,000. And these were just for normals. That's how far back I aged back into this industry. And it's crazy. But it would probably be a normal, something low end. I bought my first pastel at $5,000 or $6,000 as a male. So think about how far back that is. Now they're $50, $60. So,
Right. Now, what do you think? What do you think the biggest? Do you think it's just information or just more accessibility to getting help? What do you think the biggest difference is breeding back then versus it is breeding today?
Social media is definitely, it has its flaws, but in the vast of things, I think it is you would know who I am probably without social media. I wouldn't know you, half the people here. I wouldn't have the support and the following I have. I wouldn't be able to reach out. I wouldn't be able to see some amazing things people that have made to and keep inspiring me. The community where you can call it a community now. We always had a community, a bunch of people with, similar interests, but no one shared their interests. No one shared their thoughts. No one shared their, you wouldn't talk about your mistakes, but you don't want to help anyone else not make mistakes. And it was so hard. It's night and day, we always talk about it. You'll never know because, sometimes now you get a little bit of drama. That's nothing compared to what we had to deal with before all this. But the community now, it's caring, supportive. We look out for each other. We're not like, I don't post the snake that I created, that I'm happy I made. I don't put it there and say, fuck all you guys. I did it first. Look what I got. I got this. You don't. That was the mentality back then. People posted shit just to shove it in your face and brag, and now it's like, wow, it's inspiring. It helps people, say, hey, look what's going on. Look where the industry is moving. This is crazy. The mindset is different. And I think with social media and the community, it's more inviting. More people want to be in this. You know what I mean? Like just seeing these animals and enjoying them, like, wow, this is crazy. You can breed them? Oh my God. And then they start learning. People help. People guide them. People inspire them and show them how to do it. And then the sky's the limit. You can go from there.
Right. Now, I got to ask this, man. This is a hot seat question.
Okay.
Who is Big Billy? You know what I'm saying? And I say Big Billy because, they call him Billy because he on his way to a billy. You feel me? $1 billion. Now, who is your current favorite breeder in the game?
It's There's so many. There's even some small breeders that are out there just killing it. That I'm sitting there like going, wow. I mean, just blow me away. You know, if anything, you know, it's going to be like what everyone else says. I think Justin Kabilka not only shown many of us the possibilities and you know, the way the marketing, the way the you know, so many different things, like even the way he's pioneered YouTube, you know, and how you've seen him back in the past and how he's grown, the way his collection has come, the business, you know, he's given so much to this industry. And it's crazy because, you know, it's like me. So many people look at me and it's like, oh, wow, you're such an inspiration. And wow, you know, you got me into ball pythons. Wow, I love watching you, your passion. I didn't get into this to showcase that. I just got into this because I love doing this. And I don't change. I'm hyperactive. I fidget and, you know, I make mistakes. I just do everything the way I do it. You get what you get. And I can't believe just by being me that I inspire people and just showing my true self without having to be someone different to try to be accepted. I just turn the camera on and yap, you know, and just do what I do. And I love doing what I do. And people can see that and see how real I am. And even in person, you know, people, that's my number one thing. People come and say, hey, Billy, you know, I can't believe you. You're like, you know, you're the same way like on TV or, you know, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's me. But I think, you know, what Justin has done as far as even opening up the mindset and creativity and you know, long-term projects and you know, some of the stuff that he's been putting out there and the information, you know, there's so many, but I mean, he's the top of my list. And meeting him for the first time was very inspirational to me. And I got to know him personally and talk to him. And, you know, he's there for me to call if I need and vice versa. So, you know, he really game changer. I mean, there's so many people that have added, you know, so many things to help this industry grow in a more positive way, positive light. And, you know, he's definitely somebody that, you know, motivates me and inspires me. So.
Right. I love that answer, man. We all love Kabilka, man. Now, I want to tell you something. I look at you as like a artist, and sometimes artists don't like their work. Sometimes they love their work. And I say that to say, have you ever hit a disappointing morph? And when I say that is when you hatch something, did you look at it and you was like, shit, this is actually ugly. I don't like this.
I wouldn't say it's actually, I'm sure I've been disappointed. Nothing comes straight to mind. You know, I don't really look at what disappoints me. I look at what blows my mind more. You know, that's what stays in my head. I'm trying to, you know, and that's the thing too. If anyone's out there listening, try not to dwell on the stuff that's negative or that you hate or you don't like. You know, think about the stuff that you like, that you did well. You know, I have shitty clutches. You see me cut them on YouTube. Oh, that one died. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's kinked. Man, I missed the odds. You don't hear me dwelling on it. I talk about it, move on, and guess what? Next clutch, I'm jumping up and down, or I'm average. You keep pushing forward and dwell on the positive stuff. One thing that blew my mind was, you know, Spider and Freeway. You know, I was trying to see, and, you know, you see Spider and what it does, and with the Freeway, when I produced that, like in 2015 or 16, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, it has to be Spider. That's one thing that just blew my mind. Same thing with the Kryptons. You know, I bred a cryptic animal to a clown, and I'm like, what the hell? It triggered me, and like, what's going on? You know, finding out stuff like when we came out like 3 years ago saying cinnamon and black pastel or lilac with enchi, you know, stuff like that. It's like, wow, why aren't we doing this? And it just got our minds and everything, you know, working towards trying to find out what the answers were and then putting it out and sharing it with the world. That to me sticks in my mind, not the disappointing stuff. And you should train your brain and the way you think to dwell more on the positive stuff and the stuff that you're excited about, not the stuff that, we all know that it's there. We all know it's going to happen, but dwell on the positive, man. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but believe me, you got to train that way. And I'm still working on it. I'm not like, oh, Mr. Positive. I am, but there's a lot of things that sort of bring me down, and you got to twist it and say, hey, get back on the path to positivity, keep going, move forward.
I love that. I love that. Now, for a lot of the newer breeders, answer this. Like, if a person is just getting into breeding, what do you think they should start with first? A female powerhouse, or is it better to start with a male powerhouse first?
All depends on your budget, your time, your space, your goals. That's why one thing like my Patreon, that's what I do. I don't just have, this is what you do and do that. Because some people can't do it. Some people don't have. I can't say, oh, here's the key to success. Put in 20 hours a week. You got to have 3,000 square feet and you got to have $150,000. Well, a lot of people are like, well, fuck this. I can't do that. I'm out. No, everyone has a different goal, different budget, different time, different space, different everything. And some people don't want to turn this into a business. I'll tell you, many people out there are like, oh, I can't wait to be as big as you, Billy. When you get half my size, you're like, fuck this. I don't know how these guys do it. I'm going backwards. Like, this is nuts. You got to trust the people. I have an amazing team, man. And Team MC's incredible. It's taken me, finding Austin. I've been through 15 people to get the 4 that I've got. Well, we have another one. So 4, 3 plus a new one. Looking for an extra one. It's not easy. You got to trust them. They got to be, they got to care just as much as you. And, we're there for each other. And it's not an easy fix, and it's not an easy find. But I would say, depending on there's so many, it's like a loaded question. There's nothing wrong with power females, but then realize you have to buy a power male. All that costs money, okay? You got to invest. Always buy 3-4 females beforehand, raise them up a year, 12, 16 months later, you buy a male to go to those 4 females. Make sure you have the genetics you want in the females that work with the genetic in the male. If you want to work with spider, put it in one of the females, not in the male, because now you're going to have spider in all your clutches. Like, you really got to have a game plan. But most people don't have the funds. I get it. I mean, it took me a while to get here. I didn't walk in and say, oh, I want to get into the ball python game. I'll take that, and just start spreading the money around. Fuck, man. I would save for months just to buy a $3,000 female. Cool, normal, put it away. Work on a payment plan, get another one. Oh my God, I got to get this pastel male for $6,000. Oh, I might be able to save up for 3 months to get that. Then I made it, started doing it, and, just took off. But I would definitely say, learn the genetics, know what goes into what, grab some females, even if they're lower end, but you definitely, whether you're buying low end females or high end females, you always want a high end male. High-end male, high-end female, high-end male, always high-end male. If you don't have the money to buy high-end females, buy females with the right genetics. They don't have to be high-end, but you definitely need a high-end male.
Right.
So many answers to this question. It's all sort of person-based and, all the elements around,
Well, you answered it, and I love your answer. Now, I have a hot seat question, man. So shout out to you, Sark. Feely or Antoine?
Oh, I got to go with Antoine, man. I love them both. Antoine's more, I'm closer with Antoine. I've spoken with him many times. He's just a hell of a guy. He just looks like a guy you don't want to mess with. You know what I mean? Like, so I got to go with the high desert pythons, man.
Right. Much love to Antoine. Now, I want to talk to you about egg cutting. I know you cut eggs. I know a lot of people coming up in the game cut eggs. Why do you think, people give us so much crap for cutting eggs. Like, I no offense to Jay Brewer, love Jay Brewer, watch his videos, but he gets a lot of crap when it comes to egg cutting. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, he doesn't do ball pythons, I believe. I mean, all the ones that I've seen him, I guess they're the retics or the bigger pythons. I don't know how that works with the, I'm sure it's the same, but I mean, he goes in and pulls them out. I would never suggest that with ball pythons. I've said many, many times, I don't cut on a certain day. I cut when they're ready. And I know when they're ready. I've saved more animals, in my opinion. I've lost clutches. I've cut them, day 57, 58, 60. They didn't pip. I open them up. They're all drowned. I've had ones where, and many people reached out. It's like, hey, Billy, I cut an egg and, the umbilical's, wrapped. What do I do? And I'm here, watch a video, or I work them over the phone and sort of show them how to do it or explain it over the phone. I've even done it on a YouTube video. People used to say, oh, the reason why their umbilical cord gets tangled is because they're opening them up too early. No, I did one live on YouTube. I cut the egg, 3 days early because it was ready. I felt comfortable. I cut it and I opened it up. I'm like, oh, you can see the umbilical cord right around it. I pulled it out, and I saved its life, And then I got people hating on me. Oh, you should have left it. That means it wasn't supposed to live in the first place. What? I'm barbaric for cutting eggs, but if an animal's there and I can assist it, it wasn't meant to be, so I should have left it. I mean, that to me is a barbaric mindset. Like, so, I just say do what you want to do. They're my eggs. If I'm going to put my animals at risk by doing it and I continue to do it, I'm a POS. And I'm an idiot, okay? I do it because I truly believe it's better for my animals. They're out of the egg early. They're not stressing for days. I've had clutches that have pipped and come out on their own. It's not like I've never done any of it. I've done it all. I feel more comfortable, and for what I like and what I think for the benefits of the animals, I cut my eggs. And some people cut them way too big. They cut them, they're bloody, and they're trying to pull them out. And I don't recommend that. I make a nice clean slit. That's the way I do it. Some people use a razor. I'm not on there telling them that they're stupid to use a razor. Do what you want to do, But if we were causing harm to animals, then yeah, I can see I'd be on that too. But
right.
I show you guys, here's the update, here's this. I've been doing it for years. There's nothing wrong with doing it as long as you know what you're doing and how to do it. So
Right. I think you're amazing at what you do. Now, I want you to know, because there's a lot of breeders in here. Can you give us some tips on reduce slugs?
Well, one, temperature. Okay, so if you're running a little too hot, especially in your males, I've always had my male racks, usually a degree or two, lower than my females. Overfeeding, underfeeding, using it, so if you overfeed an animal or you underfeed, not enough food or too much food, the fat content, not enough fat, too much fat, you're gonna have slugs. A male that's too young, that doesn't have enough viable sperm, or a male that you overuse, I'll use a male into 7 or 8 females. The first 6 will great. The next 7, I get a couple slugs, and I've even, had a reabsorption on animal number 8 because the male was just overused. But there's a combination of things too, right? So
right.
It could be all of them. It could be one. It could be a bunch at the same time. But run them a little cooler. Don't overfeed, don't underfeed. If you breed a female that's not eating really well, it's almost guaranteed to have slugs,
Okay. So, all right. Well, DE Reptiles wants to know your opinion on the special gene for the future.
I've had special since 2010. I love it. I sort of had it, made my crystals, made my special combos left them alone, made some stuff. I always used it to make some brighter animals. Special pieds back in 2016 and 17. Now seeing special in clown and what people have been doing with it. I love it. You know, I'm really happy, especially special in pied, special in clown. You know, crystals are still nice, especially to the new people that are coming in. It's a nice looking animal. But I think that special still has so much more. You know, it's like any other genes, just trying to find out what to put to it. But I definitely like it. I definitely, it's going to be, you know, something that's definitely throughout my collection.
Right. Now I have a hot seat question. I feel like you're leaving your mark on the hobby. If we were to do a movie about mutation creation, any actor in the world, who's playing Billy?
Bruce Willis.
Oh, dude, I could see that. I'd pay money to see that.
I'd say Sean Connery, but unfortunately he's passed. So
I would definitely pay money to see that. Now, I want to know, you have so much knowledge in this industry. Are you self-taught or did you have a mentor?
Self-taught. I did have a lot of mentors in the way that they would tell me something, I do it, and I failed. So they taught me a lot of stuff of what not to do. Unfortunately, I had to go through it year after year after year and suffer. So that's one of the reasons why I am the way I am. I want to help people because everybody shit on me. Everybody, you know, no one thought I would last. Hyperactive kid, spending money, you know, tattooed guy, ADHD, he won't last. You know, I almost didn't, you know. But I'll tell you one thing, if I had the help and I had some guidance and I had people that actually, you know, worked with me, who knows where I'd be. But I'm sort of glad I went through all that shit because now I can sit there and tell you guys, hey, you know what? I went through this, and this. Fuck, I was homeless 9 years ago. And look where I am now. I can tell you here from experience that don't fucking give up. Don't listen to people that tell you you can't, because I heard that for year after year. And you know what? It almost got to me because I was failing year after year. And, you know, I don't really know what kept me going, except I wanted to do this. Other people can do this. I thought it was incredible from day one. They can do it. Why the fuck can't I? You know, and I kept going through it. And then I figured it out. And I stopped listening to people. And then when I reached out to people in the US and I could talk to them, and it's like, wow. And I think they gave me the time of day because one, I was spending money, but two, I wasn't a threat to them. Everybody here, it was like I was a threat or everyone else was a threat. I didn't want to tell people what I did because, oh, they might do it and beat me too. And that was the stupid, shitty mentality. But I'm sort of glad I had to go through here because you know what? I appreciate everything more. And you guys see me, man. I'm here now. I'm successful. You know, I'm still motivated. I'm still pushing it. I'm still grinding. I want more. And that's because I guess it's instilled in me. I love what I do. But I can sit here and tell you guys what you need to do, what not to do. Here's some examples. This is what I've done. This is another thing I've done. Believe me, this is a better way. I can tell you that, and I know from experience, and you guys see what I've been doing. You know, I'm not trying to give you advice, and I'm sitting there fucking, you know, making bumblebees. You know, I give a shit about you. Sometimes I think I care more about some people's success than they do, and you know they will fizzle off. And you know, but I want to see people do well because this is an incredible industry. The people in it are amazing. The animals are mind blowing. And you think what we have now is incredible? Oh my God! Like, oh, sit down and be prepared, man, because the future is it's insanity coming. I've been through this. You know, when a bumblebee and a spider and a pinstripe and then a cinnamon blew my mind. Now look where we're at. It's just going to be mind-blowing every year after year. It's nuts. So
Right. Well, I love that answer. So does my lady. Shout out to Lizard Mom. She said you're inspirational. I want to talk to you about and get your take on breeder loans or breeder collabs. What do you think about them? Like this person has this snake and this person has this snake, and they agree to share snakes, and then Oh, well, I get this many babies, you get this many babies. How do you feel about those breeder loans?
It doesn't work out the way you expect. The idea behind it, and it's like, wow, this is great. Someone always gets the shit end of the stick. If you're gonna do it, you gotta really trust that person. You hear more shit about the bad of it than the good part, to the point where I would stay away from it. There's so much responsibility with live animals, and you got to trust someone to give them your animal and then hope to get it back, or say they breed it. If you do it, get something on paper with a witness. I have a contract that we sign. It's never perfect. Someone always walks away like, you can't split an amazing snake, and then, we're gonna split this one too, and then it splits, and then you need a fucking accountant to figure out whose is what down the road. Like, it's crazy. But never, never, never give your male. If you have a male in a breeding loan, the females come to you. Okay? And the reason being is, I have your male, and you really got to trust the person. And that's the thing. Like, everyone I do a breeding loan with, they can come to the facility. I ultrasound in front of them. Everything's there. I've done it. I'll cut the eggs on YouTube. I give shout outs to the person I do it with. They can come while I do it. It's all transparent. If you give somebody a male and he's supposed to breed it to a couple of his females, he's putting it to 5, or 6, or hopefully they're not, and they're not going to tell you, someone always gets the bad end, and invest more in stuff that if you really want something, work harder, invest in it for yourself. I see too many friendships and bullshit and little tiny things go the wrong way because of it. It was supposed to be a joint venture, happiness, and yay, and then someone, it was supposed to be this, and no, and then stay away if you can. It's just the best. So
right, okay, so don't do it. You heard it from the man himself, or do it more so with reputable people like him that you can trust, and you're not going to get the shit end of the stick. Now, I want to ask you, because there's a lot of breeders out there. What do you think a new breeder first year clutch goal should be?
Something that you want to make. If people, and here's the thing, like, I'm not that person saying, hey, go spend tons of money, go invest. If you feel comfortable and you believe in yourself and you have it, do it. But I think people should have a bit of experience behind them. Imagine investing all this time and money and then hitting a clutch and going, what the fuck's everyone? So why does Billy do a Billy dance? Like, why is that? I don't get it. This is boring. Okay, I got some fucking eggs and I cut them or they hatch. I don't see the whole thing. What's the big deal? It's not for you. You just spent all that money, and if you spent it right, you can sell it off and get, some money back. But, make sure it's for you, I have some people on my Patreon and people I talk to. You can hear the passion. That they're working away and they're constantly learning and reaching out and buying and asking the right questions and learning and they're going to go somewhere. And if they don't, I'm going to be surprised. Like, wow, man, this person came out, learned, and he did all this and all the steps I would have recommended. And I can't believe he's out of it. Like, wow, that just means that his heart wasn't in it. But you can see when people give a shit and care and really try to further and build themselves and learn. You can see that, that take advice. I mean, I give a lot of advice. I've been doing it way before Patreon, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And there's people that I know that have reached out lately saying, hey, Billy, obviously I need your advice. You should have listened to me 7 years ago. Look where I am. Look where you are. And you know, I'm not telling you shit to make you, you know, I'm telling it to you because I'm doing it. I'm showing you guys, and you got to implement. You know, you can learn everything in a book, watch videos. If you learn it and don't do anything with it, why the fuck even learn it? You need to learn stuff and implement it. Like, I'm constantly changing. I totally changed the way I breed this year, and it's even better than I have for the last 20 years. I'm not pigheaded saying, oh, no, I know everything. I've been doing this for 20 years. It works. Sure, it worked. But the way I just did it this year is even better. You know, everything has room for improvement. So, you know, don't think you're ever going to hit the top. I mean, there is no top in this game. You know what I mean? You think Justin might be at the top of all of us. But there's like, there is no top. He's just ahead of all of us to go to the top, which he'll never hit. None of us will ever hit the top. You know,
right.
He's just the guy we're looking up at. But when he's at the top, he's looking up and going, "Holy fuck, there's a lot of space." You know, so you know,
right. I love that answer. Now, with us having so many breeders in here, and I know you're busy, so I won't keep you too much longer. But
yeah.
What do you think the number one mistake new breeders make is?
Well, there's a lot, and I wouldn't say new breeders, people getting in the hobby. Okay.
Yeah.
They see a snake, they you know, I understand the feeling because they're like, oh my God, look at this. And then they start, you know, getting into the community, or they go to a show and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know there was this color. I didn't know, like, oh my God, look at this. See this thing called the pied? Oh my God. And oh, a banana gene. Wow. And you know, they buy what they see, what they like, because they don't have a path or a goal. They just buy stuff that they like. It's visually beautiful. It's art. So they just buy stuff because, wow, I got one of these. I got one of these. They're not buying the right females. They're buying males. They're buying stuff that doesn't work together, but they're not even buying stuff to breed. They're buying stuff to collect because it's just, wow, you know, it's, you know, you got to have them all, like Pokemon, you know, oh my God, look at all this. Wow, look what I've got. And then it's like, oh my God, you can breed these now? How do I do that? Oh, it's not that hard. Okay, let me try it. Then they want to try it and they realize the stuff that they have isn't really set up. So they try to do whatever they can, and they put themselves in a position where they're making stuff that no one wants. But at least it gives them experience. And then if I can get my hands on them early, and other people can say, hey, you know what, you got to transition, do this. And it's like, I've seen people go from where, you know, 2-3 years, they're just going to be like, you know, plateauing, and they've made some changes. And I know, I bet money on it that they are going to do phenomenally well in the next 3 to 5 years, like phenomenally. And I guarantee you it's 1,000 times better than what they would have done without my help, you know, and I know that for a fact, and I'll put my mouth and my money on it because I know what I'm doing. And everyone else that's doing and doing these, you know, things that I'm proposing to them or showing them or giving them different options to understand why I would do this instead of that. And they're like, oh shit, I never even thought of that. Yeah. You know, there's so many different ways to do the same thing, but getting a better result. And I want to see people do well. It's not like I'm afraid, like, oh, I'm teaching all these people to do well. Oh, they're going to put me out of business. We can't fucking supply the demand, people, you know, especially in the high end game. You know what I mean? You know, if anything, the more people that get into the high end game and the more stuff that's there, the more stuff that's going to be there for the people underneath the cup. Yeah. You know, all we can do is grow, you know?
Right. I love that. Now, I want to talk about not necessarily cheap snakes, but I'm new to the hobby, and I want to make sure I word this correctly. I've been in the hobby about a year. I'm fans of everybody. I'm your fan. I'm not even a fan. I'm past fan. I'm on air conditioner status. That's how much I love it. I'm an air conditioner.
Okay.
Now, I love you. I love Kabelka. I love Miguel, Ozzy. I love all y'all. But I consider y'all to make, you know, you make $5,000, $10,000 snakes, and you put them on Morph Market and you sell them. I love that. Get your money. But, you know, I feel like y'all make a lot of snakes for the breeders that are trying to follow in your footsteps, which is great. But my question to you is, the average collector out there that's just a fan of yours that necessarily can't afford those kind of snakes, can they still approach you about getting a snake that's a little more affordable? Like, I'll be honest, my collection, I don't even have $1,000 snake. I don't think my
Right.
wife would. She'd make me sleep outside. I think my most expensive snake is upwards of $250 to $300. But I would never approach, Mutation Creation, say my budget's $300. You'd be like, boy, kiss my ass.
No, not like that at all. I mean, the thing is every snake I try to make is high end. Eventually, I want my whole collection, and it takes time. I can't just magically snap my fingers and every animal's $2,000. I've got to build my collection and make stepping stones, hold stuff back. It's a process. We don't just sit there and say, "Oh, my collection's superb. It's perfect. It's so structured." It takes time. It takes finesse. It takes hitting the right odds. Sometimes you have to sell some stuff off to get into another project, or you know what? I really want to keep some of these animals back, but I need new racks in order to grow. Guess what? Keep the animals back and don't have racking for your future, or sell it off to prepare for the future. It's not so laid out. We got to make sacrifices. But people can come and buy, I do shows. I have snakes that I have, when I miss, I have like a male pastel or a lemon blast, possible 66% het dreamsicle. I ain't going to sell that animal. So I'm going to put it on the table and sell it, for $75 or $40 or whatever.
Okay. For the people that are just fans that, want that snake because they love you. I'm just curious, do a lot of the breeders have those for just the average fan that just loves you and wants to say they have a Billy snake in their collection?
Yeah. The only problem is, which one of the reasons why I'd like to get into the US and breed, is because if you want a $200-$300 snake for me, it's going to cost you the same for me to ship it from international.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the reason why, most of my animals on Morph Market are $700, $800, $1,000 and up, because that way, it's $200 to ship. I'll eat a little bit of it. People end up buying like, $1,500, $2,000 animal. I'll say, hey, I'll charge you an extra $100 to ship, and I'll eat 100 of it. So I work with people because I want my animals into other people's collections and the genetics, and I want to see people enjoy what I have. I had somebody message me today saying, hey man, I got that animal I got from you, a year and a half ago. She just gave me 5 eggs. I'm like, fucking awesome. It's so great when I have animals. Another guy messaged me. I sold him I think it was a pied het clown or a clown het pied. He messaged me back and goes, man, I hit like 2 clown pieds with that female you sold me a few years ago. Such a great feeling, man. It's so amazing.
Man, I love that.
He hit clown pieds and yellow belly clown pieds. I think orange dream clown pied too, from an animal that I sold him, a female. It's so rewarding, man. You know what I mean? Now I wish I kept that. You know what I mean? But
I love that.
I get a lot of, I get a lot of happiness and enjoyment from seeing other people do well, especially with an animal that they've cared and enjoyed that I produced.
Well, I love that. I know you got stuff to do, so I just got 2 more questions. Can you give us tips to get a stubborn male to breed? If a male's not necessarily doing what he has to do, what's a good way to get him to breed if he's being stubborn?
There's a lot of cool stuff. Putting a different male shed in the tub. For the first time, I heard this. I've never tried it, but someone said, you put a male in, in a nylon bag or a stocking, like you would ship it, like a ship. You know how they have the nylon bags or a woman's pantyhose. You put the male in, and you actually. I've never done this, but I'm like, what the? That's actually sounds pretty awesome. You put the male in the tub, and you put the other male in that you want to breed. Okay, the other male's in there, but he can never lock the female because he's in this pantyhose. And I'm like, it fucking makes sense. Wow, I've never heard of that. And I heard that about 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, well, if you put an animal in the bag, the scent's there, he can't lock the female, so you know who the dad is if there is something coming out. But they can't really be competitive, because I've never tried it, but it does make pretty cool sense. you know. But I've always just thrown sheds or tried. And if I don't see a lock, then I put another animal in as a backup to take over. But I also make it where I know I don't put, if pastel's in this dad and pastel's in that one, I don't. I change it so I know who the dad is. So.
Right. I love that answer. Y'all heard that. Just tips from the man himself. Last question. I know, and I'm gonna let you go. It's not necessarily a question, but I want to give you an idea, and I want to see how you feel about it.
Okay.
So you know, with a lot of stuff that USARK is doing, and I love them. Shout out to USARK. The reptile community has a lot of eyes on it. You know, this guy's losing a cobra, rattlesnake loose in Texas, snakes loose everywhere.
Yeah.
Now I got a plan to get the eyes off the reptile community, but I need your help. Are you down?
Depending on what it is.
All right, now this is my plan. And it's very easy. It just takes 2 fingers. Now, tomorrow on your way to work, when you're driving, just if you see a house has a gate, has a dog in it, before you get to work, just hop out the car, open the gate, get in your car, and drive off.
And then you're releasing another animal.
Yeah. If you have like 1,000 loose dogs, the news got to focus on the dogs and not the reptiles.
Yeah, but the thing is the poor dogs, man. I mean, they could run out and get caught. You know, I see your point, but the thing is, man, like, now you're gonna have people that are like, super attached to their dog. Now it's like there's gonna be so much trees going to waste because people are printing off, lost dog posters, and so you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't think it's a very tough situation. I don't think, putting the light somewhere else is going to ever fix what we have. I just think it's us uniting and teaching and taking those misconceptions away and those, silly things that people have in their head about snakes, and everyone's venomous and poisonous. They're going to kill all your dogs and the kids. And it's just education. And with social media, I think that's one of the reasons why the industry has gone so big, is because of the fact that we're sharing information and showing it. And there's so many people that watch my YouTube and they're like, wow, I'll never get one, but wow, I can see the beauty. And I love seeing how happy you guys get. And, I'll never own one or touch one, but, that is a big step from somebody where those people, and just being myself and showcasing that and other people out there educating people, I think slowly, we'll start, understanding where it might not be for them, but they can understand why we have love and do what we do. So.
Right. Chat. Richie's recessive said this has to be the shortest podcast ever. I thought I wasn't gonna keep him long, but he said he's got stuff to do tonight. Yeah. I think he's doing stuff for your Patreon tonight, right?
No, not tonight. I have a few other things to do, but I've got, I'm always doing something, man. But yeah, this is.
But I did want to tell you, I'm thinking about getting your Patreon. If I get your Patreon, I need access to that phone book because I feel like you got numbers to everybody. All right, well,
classified information.
If I get that Patreon, I need that phone book because I feel like you got numbers just to everybody in the game that I'm trying to call and talk to you and I need your phone number. I'll be a horrible podcast member. He'd be like, cancel Derek's membership.
Yeah.
All right, well, we went a good 50 minutes. I appreciate you. Like I said, I know you have stuff to do.
Hit me round 2. Down the road, man. Round 2.
Right, of course, man. That's what it's about. We're here having fun, getting a little knowledge, and just having fun with it, man. I love that you hopped on, and maybe 6-7 months down the road when you're not busy, I'd love to get you on for a round 2 and just pick your brain a little more.
100%, man. That's what I love doing, and I love helping, and I want to see everyone do well, and I think this community is great, and the more we keep doing what we're doing, the more people are going to come and want to be a part of this because it's incredible.
Right. Thank you, Insane Clown Python. Said beautiful show. Everybody said amazing show. because Billy's Nikon. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get out of here. You have an amazing night. So I'm getting ready to post this. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man, and everyone have an awesome time. Thanks for finally giving me a call and catching me and getting this worked out. Congratulations on your marriage, and
right?
Yeah, man. So everyone have a great night. Peace out. See ya soon.
I appreciate you. You have a great night, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, man. This is Big Reptile Talk. I appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, I love all y'all. Thank you so much for the watch time. Help me, just build my channel. We had an amazing podcast. We had, Billy on. We had fun, and we got a little bit of knowledge. This is Big Reptile Talk. Before we get out of here, just shout out to everybody. Iron Dog, My Animal House, Richie's Recessives, everybody, Moved Over Miami, my lady, Jennifer Allen, Kurtwood, CNB Royal, Snakes for the Memories, Brad, Everglade Exotics, Insane Clown Potties, Richie's Recessives, Lizard Mom, just everybody in the chat, 403 fine. I'm sure I miss people, but I appreciate it. JL Constrictors, thank you, man. I love y'all. I got a couple more shows coming up. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm out of here. If you can, go over to my Animal House channel. Amazing guy. Go check out his show too, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We out of here, man. This is Big Reptile Talk.